Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm gonna light this really tall one because it's just gonna be behind me and I figured that would be kind of nice and relaxing. So let's get this started because today's video is gonna be a new skin diaries. I know it's been really long since I filmed one. I think it's been like maybe 2 weeks now. The last time I spoke to you guys, I told you guys that my dermatologist felt as though it was time for me to go back on accutane, and this time with a higher dosage for a lower amount of time. Now, since that conversation, it's been about a month, and she expressed to me that she wanted me to continue taking doxycycline while I was waiting for my accutane. However, I actually did not take this advice and I took myself off of the doxycycline. You might be saying, why, Abril? You probably broke out so much more. Why would you do that? The fact of the matter is that it was affecting my health so much more and in so many more ways than it was helping. Sure, it did probably help my skin. I'm recently getting these, I don't even know if you can see, but I'm getting these like really big cystic inside ones. Like there's one right there. I had one here the other day. I'm getting those really big, painful, under the skin, cystic breakouts right now. And I believe that's probably because I'm not taking the doxycycline, which is supposed to target those and kind of minimize their appearance. The reason I took myself off of doxycycline is because I was having major issues with vomiting, major issues. It's really interesting because I recently found out about a lot of people discussing Accutane and its long-term side effects after they got off of Accutane. And actually I've been experiencing a lot of the same side effects that they talked about. So I do want to go a little bit in depth with that. Obviously, like I don't know for sure if this is a fact because, you know, it's all based off of my own research and YouTube videos that I watch and things that I just kind of noticed happening in my body. So of course, take it with a grain of salt. I don't know if this happens to everyone that goes on Accutane, but this is how my body is responding almost a year after. In March, when I first started to break out again, my doctor put me on spironolactone and doxycycline. Now, before this, I do feel like I had some acid reflux and it runs in my family. My mom has acid reflux. I believe she has something called GERD. I never really noticed that issue in myself, but I did start to notice it the past few years that whenever I ate, I would get really bloated and some things would sit very heavy with me, especially meat, so I would stray away from that. My dietary restrictions have become more and more extreme as the years go by. Now it's very hard for me to stomach any sort of meat, any sort of dairy. I get so many comments on Instagram like, you need to change your diet, it's what you're eating. I don't think those people understand that I have tried those things and I currently have a very restricted diet because of the digestion issues that I have and also because of my skin. So I am aware of those things. That being said, it's a known link between acid reflux and acne that having acid reflux or GERD can cause acne. I watched a lot of YouTube videos recently and I found out that a lot of people after getting off of Accutane developed acid reflux or IBS. Now, I was never really warned about this by my doctor, and obviously I've been on Accutane 5 or 6 times, I don't know, I lost count. I wouldn't be surprised if I do have some sort of condition or something that occurred because of it. I really wouldn't. It's so unfortunate because the digestion issues that I've been having are just crazy. So in March when I first started taking doxycycline and spironolactone, I had a bit of the acid reflux and I would get bloated and full easily. However, I wasn't throwing up and I wasn't having trouble even getting an appetite because I was my body was reacting to the fact that food wasn't staying there. When I first started taking spironolactone and doxycycline, it got really bad, like really bad. And this is why I want you guys to be careful with trying recommendations you see online because I heard about spironolactone and doxycycline online from recommendations on Twitter, and it was great. I was very thankful and I was excited because I had never heard of this combination of drugs to treat acne. So at the time it was COVID and my doctor was doing FaceTime appointments, and so I told her about it and she gave me the prescription no problem, which was great. However, it really did not work for me. In fact, I believe that it really aggravated my digestion problems, and now I'm having to take antacids almost every day. At first, I thought it was just the spironolactone giving me these problems and nothing having to do with Accutane and prior things that I took. So I got off of spironolactone. However, I was still on doxycycline and I was still getting nausea and vomiting. The way it would manifest in me was in the morning, I would, a lot of the times, and it's still like last week, I would be awakened in the morning at like 6 a.m. with just violent nausea, like violent gagging. I would literally be awoken by my body gagging, and I would have to run to the bathroom and vomit. So I know it's TMI, but this is something that's been happening to me since March when I started taking those 2 medications. So I believe that I may have probably had an issue with acid reflux that was going untreated, and it could potentially have been due to Accutane or also due to a genetic issue, because like I said, my mom does have the same problem. So I'm not really sure, but I do think that it was really aggravated by the 2 medications I was taking. So that's why I took myself off of doxycycline as well. Even when I wasn't taking spironolactone and I was just on the doxy, I was still vomiting in the morning very often, to a scary point. And I'm sure you guys are aware that recently I lost a lot of weight. So to me, it's like, do I want to gamble my overall bodily health just to have skin that's semi-clear? No. Like, I'd 100% rather have a face full of cystic acne and be healthy overall and not be vomiting every morning at 6 a.m. Recently, I haven't been taking anything at all. I'm taking antacids in the morning so I won't get violently nauseous, and I'll take probiotics, but I'm not taking any medication. Now, my doctor wants to put me back on Accutane on September 4th, I believe is going to be my first day, and I've been doing a lot of thinking about this because, you know, obviously I don't know for sure if Accutane gave me these issues or it was genetic, but I am really scared now knowing that it is a possibility that it will get really bad on Accutane. And I've never been to a gastroenterologist. It's surprising to me that I've been to so many dermatologists and they don't suggest these things to me. They don't, when I tell them I've tried everything and I've taken all these pills and I'll list it to them, it's surprising to me that they won't tell me like, oh, have you gotten tested for this, and this, or this, and this, and they won't, you know, I don't understand why the first instinct for every dermatologist is to just throw me on Accutane. I'm a little reluctant now to go on Accutane. I've already started the eye pledge, I got my blood work done, so it's in motion, but when I go in to see my dermatologist on the 4th, I may discuss with her other options, maybe to avoid it. It's also really scary to me because she was saying that with this new Accutane trial, because I'm going to be taking a bigger dosage than you normally would, my side effects are gonna be escalated. And like I said in my Accutane video, if you haven't watched that, you can click this card right now where I talk about every experience I had on Accutane. I didn't really have that many side effects except for bloody nose and maybe like chapped lips. I feel like my side effects will not be that bad, but again, my recent bodily health, just because I've lost so much weight by accident and also digestive wise, it's just not, something's wrong there. That makes me worried to go back on Accutane because the times I took it in the past, I was completely healthy. I had a little more weight on me. So, you know, if anything was happening, at least like I had that to be healthy. Being at a healthy weight is really important. It does make me a little nervous to go back on Accutane now, knowing that all these things could happen. And I know now that my body is getting a little older and getting a little weaker. So I do have to keep those things in mind. But my dermatologist seems to be really sure that this trial of Accutane could be the one. I personally am not so sure, but I am willing to humor her. However, not to the expense of my overall health, because recently, this month especially, I've just realized, you know, health is wealth. It's so important. The days that I wake up and I'm not nauseous and I can actually function, I don't take that for granted anymore. I really don't. It's not fun to be sick just because I want to try to have clear skin. And so I really started to realize throughout this year especially that having clear skin is not worth jeopardizing the rest of your health. I used to be that sort of person that was like, whatever, I'm just gonna go on Accutane, I don't care, I just want clear skin so bad I can't even look at myself. But you guys know that that's really changed in me, and I don't mind looking at myself anymore. I don't mind waking up to new breakouts. It's normal. I'm used to it. This is my body. I'll figure it out eventually. But to completely destroy my internal organs like in every way, shape, and form by taking all these crazy medications that everyone online recommends me. Oh, have you tried this, this, and this? It's great that people want to suggest things to me and they want to help, but those suggestions can be very dangerous. So please be careful, guys. Don't just take things because they worked for someone else. Be careful. Really be careful, because whatever spironolactone and doxycycline, did and to aggravate the inside of me, I think this is now kind of like a permanent effect where I just have acid reflux and I have to take antacid tablets every morning just to be able to keep my food down. Can't eat spicy things or overly heavy things, like things that I used to love eating. I can't eat anymore. I can't eat any fast food. Even sometimes pasta doesn't sit well with me. So it's been really hard to eat and find things that I can eat that won't aggravate my system. It's really been an ongoing discussion with myself that I've been having, whether I should go back on Accutane or not, because like I said, I am pretty okay with the fact that I look like this. It's not like I'm in a rush to immediately have clear skin right this second. No, I want to sit down and figure it out and find the root cause. Instead of taking all these antibiotics and medications, I want to actually know what is causing this. Like I want to know. I think when I go in on September 4th, I'm gonna discuss with her possibly running some tests and going to a gastroenterologist maybe before I go on Accutane. This month, what I have been doing to kind of treat my skin the best that I can in a more natural way to I wanted to give my body a rest and not take any pills for acne this month and just let it be and live. And I'm glad I'm doing that because I do feel better, like health-wise overall, and I think I needed to let my body breathe for a second. That being said, I have been using the azelaic acid from The Ordinary still, and that I do see a big difference when I don't use it and when I do. When I do use it, my redness is very minimized and you can tell. It's brightened. Yes, I have acne. That's obviously not gonna go away with that, but the redness is way more reduced, and I actually ran out of it. So I feel like my face is a little more red than normal, but I don't know. Also, I tried only using aloe on my face because someone else recommended that to me. It literally did zip zilch, like nothing. It's like I could have literally put any other moisturizer on my face and it would have done the same thing. I think that's the reason why I tell people to stop giving unsolicited advice, especially if you know that this person is going to a dermatologist, they have a specialist working on it already. Maybe, yeah, it's not working right away, but that's how acne works. It's trial and error. Obviously, that's how it works. This is why unsolicited advice needs to stop. It's dangerous. I know that a lot of people are trying to help, but it can be really harmful because you don't know what this person's body is like, you don't know what their health is like, and these medications may have worked for you, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna work for me or anyone else because everyone's body is different. And I promise that a specialist and a dermatologist is going to know way better than a random person online that happened to see a picture of you with acne. I don't want you guys out there, who actually do struggle with breakouts to listen to that stuff because it can be very harmful to your health. Take it from me, okay? I literally have acid reflux as a result of these things that I tried that were harmful on my body. Obviously, my skin right now, it is not in a clear condition at all. It's really not. I don't think I've had this many active breakouts since I was probably 13 years old. I do feel like my skin, at the beginning of quarantine and when I first started filming my skin diaries, my breakouts were these tiny little pustules that would pop very easily and they weren't under the skin. However, I think as months and months progressed and nothing I was taking was helping, my skin reverted back to what it was before Accutane, which is cystic acne, very much under the skin, not a lot of whiteheads, except I am still getting a few. It's something that I can't really do anything about, and the texture is so prominent that it's impossible to hide, but I don't care about that anyway. The fact of the matter is that this is a normal state since I began puberty, and the only time I've ever had clear skin since I was 13 years old is when I've been on Accutane. This is my normal skin. People will say, what happened to your face? And I'm like, this is what what happened to your eyes? Like, this is what it's been like forever. And I know people don't realize that because I started out on social media like 2 years ago and had clear skin that whole time because I was on Accutane. But this is the state of my skin normally. It just shows me that there's something internally that's happening and has been happening for a long time. Until I find that root cause, I don't think that my acne is ever going to go away. Not with an Accutane trial, not with doxycycline, spironolactone, or not with anything at all. Like I've tried not doing anything, washing my face with just water. I've tried all those things. Doesn't work. I strongly believe that there is something internally, whether it be a combination of things like hormones, acid reflux, or, you know, it could be a combination, but I believe that there is something internally that's happening, that's been happening since I'm 13, that causes this acne in me. And I don't really believe it's just hormonal because, like I said, I take birth control. I've been on several types. It never works. I believe it's a combination of internal problems, not things that I'm doing topically. I don't wear makeup on my breakouts ever. I don't touch my face. I don't put any harmful materials on my face. I'm very careful with my diet. So it's a no-brainer to me that this is an internal issue that needs to be dealt with by specialists and by doctors who run tests. So this is why I say time and time again that unsolicited advice is not helpful. What is helpful is hearing your stories and what you guys went through. You know, it's helpful to know that people are going through the same thing. I don't expect people to solve my problems for me. That's not why I'm here at all. It's just to share my story with you. And knowing that I'm not alone, that's what's helpful. And that's what's helpful to everyone. The last thing I want to say is that representation really matters. And I'd like to be a good representative for those with acne, whether it be, like I said, girls, boys, I don't care. I'd like to be a good representative, and I hope I'm making you proud. But I think it's really important to be a representative within your own community of people. It doesn't just go for those with big platforms, although I do think that it's very important that those with big platforms use them wisely. And, you know, if you're blessed with one, you should be. That's amazing. Like, you can be the representation that so many people need to see. You should be showing your insecurities and your flaws. I don't understand. But if you don't have a big platform, you still can. If you meet up with your friends and you're showing your insecurities and being confident about them despite what you know people might be thinking or might say to you, then you're showing your friends that this is something that can happen, and hopefully you can start inspiring them too, and they'll start inspiring other people. I think when I started to post a lot more about my insecurities, I saw a lot more people doing it as well, which made me so excited. And every time I see you guys post a photo, you know, I want to cry. Every time I see you guys post a photo and you're rocking your galaxies and you tag me and you say that I inspired you, it makes me so happy. I can't even express. So I really hope you guys will continue to do that, because I promise you, even if you don't think so, you are inspiring people. You're inspiring me, for one. You're inspiring your friends, you're inspiring your family. And yes, there's always gonna be people that send hate, because when you're different and when you're confident, despite what people think, people hate that. They hate to see it because they can't do it. So don't let that get you down. Be you, despite what people say, despite what people think, despite what you're going through. Be you and be confident in that, because that's beautiful. okay? I'm frustrated that so many people think it's okay to bully someone for something they cannot control. It's disgusting to me that people choose bullying for retweets or to make their friends laugh over empathy. It's disgusting to me. That behavior is unacceptable. Just like you would never put someone down for a different disability or something else on their face, you shouldn't be putting someone down for their acne. That's so messed up. And so I hope, just like you know that someone shouldn't be bullying you, don't bully yourself. Don't put yourself down. Don't do it, because the change starts from within you, okay? I really hope you guys will take my advice. I know it's so much easier said than done, but I promise you, when I started to realize that so much of what people say to me, you know, all the names that they call me, you'll never be loved, like that's all projection, because that's how they feel. They feel they won't be accepted with acne. Maybe their parents told them, oh, no one's gonna love you with a face like that. I've heard these things from so many different avenues, and I know it's not true because I've been loved and I am beautiful despite what's going on. Please don't let that projection from people get you down. Beautiful, and you're trying your best, and that's what matters. I hope you guys enjoyed the skin diaries. I know I didn't really have that many updates about my face, but like I said, I've just kind of been taking it easy with the things I've been doing and just kind of trying to give my overall body a rest, not just trying to treat my skin constantly, because it is really important to overall be keeping your health in check. Obviously, externally, that's not always gonna show, and you might still have breakouts even if you feel your best, but it's really important to slow down and listen to your body. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to hear about your experiences after Accutane, and if you had any experiences with IBS or acid reflux or vomiting, nausea, that sort of thing. I'd love to know if you guys experienced that as well. Please take today to be kind to yourself and gentle on yourself. I know this year has been absolutely crazy. There's been so much loss and so much struggle, but through it all, there's light to be found, and that light is within you. So please take care of yourself. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Abril L. Rios, and my Twitter is Abril Louisa Rios. I hope you guys have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Love you.